6 times, most recently in the 2016 semi-final of the Indian Open. Anthony McGill won that one, but it's Shaun Murphy with the 4-2 lead overall. In the commentary box, Neil Foulds is joined by Clive Everton. First, though, here's our MC, John McDonald, to introduce the players.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the venue, Cymru in Llandudno. Hello, welcome along to the quarter-final stages of the Ladbrokes Players' Championship. Brought to you by World Snooker, live on ITV Sport. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Robert Zlablowski, is ready to go. Let's meet the players. Firstly, would you please welcome from Scotland, the former Indian Open champion, Anthony McGill. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the inaugural Players' Champion, the winner of the Triple Crown Elite. Ladies and gentlemen, the magician, Shaun Murphy!
Win or lose, we're all hoping that Shaun Murphy's shoulder and neck problems aren't going to affect his performance. I don't think they will, unless the match is a particularly long one. He was certainly feeling those problems towards the end of his first round match against Karen Wilson, which he won 6-3. And he certainly doesn't want any handicaps facing an opponent of the quality of Anthony McGill, who comes here on the back of a 6-0 first round win over John Higgins.
One of his best break-off shots, Anthony McGill. The red can drift up the table quite a lot on those, and often you find that the player is snookered behind a bolt colour on the red. Not this time. It does amaze me that in snooker, and I would include in my playing day, that the shot you play the most, i.e. the break-off shot, doesn't always work out the best. And that shot every single day of your playing career, sometimes you get it wrong. That's a nicely played shot.
8. Nine.
Well, you feel that he could go into these, the bottom red. If he hits that, he could push it into the bunch. Doesn't have to play that. I think that was the right shot, and he couldn't have executed it much better. It seems that he's not on anything particularly easy. Just pushing that bottom red into the pack. The red that's drifting up the table is the one he's going to have to play. And the cue ball is not under immediate control. Showing just a little glance to a member of the audience, or something is just catching his eye.
Sorry, this guy.
I think the referee, Robert Zlablowski, has sorted it out.
Well, maybe not entirely, because I think it's still there. Somebody in his line of vision for a shot. Anyway, it's resolved. Always nice to see the next pot go in, whoever the player is, in those
17.
circumstances. Well, I can't believe he meant to crash the cue ball into the brown ball. Sure, he played to screw back and avoid it.
20.
Murphy had a very good pre-Christmas on the circuit. Runner-up in the China Championship to Luca Brissell. Beat Ronnie O'Sullivan to win the Champion
28.
of Champions. Reached the final of the UK Championship. Lost to O'Sullivan 10-5 after holding him to 5-all. Not quite so impressive since Christmas. And very recently, of course, his injury has kept him out of 2 tournaments, the Gibraltar Open
36.
and the Romanian Masters.
Yes, and he'd be one of that group of players who would rarely miss a tournament unless there was good reason. Plays in just about everything. The fact that he couldn't defend his ground in
37.
Gibraltar told you everything he needed to know, that he had a problem. But he's got a super cue action. I think that always helps. Although that is not a good shot.
42.
It really isn't. It's almost a little... He's on this one. He's a bit fortunate to be there.
Because he intended to be
43.
on the red the other side. Could work in his favour there because he's got rid of a more awkward red.
He is a tremendously good cueman, ball striker of the highest order. An awkward cueing here. And he's got
51.
something to fall back on, even though we know that he's been struggling a bit.
All these from McGill's break-off.
As you can see, just off straight here.
59.
I think he's a bit worried about him potting the pink. Yeah, is the pink going to go on its spot and block that top red off? But now he's moved it, doesn't come into it. Although, when the pink goes back on its spot, he's got awkward cueing on the red. And this is awkward,
65.
especially if you are just struggling a little bit to reach over for these. No, not close.
Sean Murphy, 65.
It was a very awkward shot indeed. Cue ball was really tight to the pink. And it was a cut as well. Couldn't just prod it in.
Yes, and he's not playing the red over the pocket. He must have felt that the top one, as you can see, certainly will go. What a chance. He's got back straight away. The four reds are very tightly grouped and he can't play into them from this black, which he'd have loved to have done with the red over the pocket.
McGill's 6-0 win over John Higgins was completed on table 2
8.
before the match on the show table had ended.
9.
So our more casual viewers may be surprised to find that McGill is actually in the tournament because they won't have seen him play yet.
Left hand red of the 4 is what he would like to cannon into here. That's not how he played it. He's got into the cue ball too far, but I think he's all right. Wouldn't
60.
have played to hit the bottom red here.
$17.
He really is a good chance. And there's no potential saviour for Sean Murphy. Nothing is remotely difficult. You always hope that there's maybe a bolt colour near a cushion or something. And you lead by quite a long way.
24.
Break of 65 will often be enough to win a frame, but not this time.
25.
Table was recovered at the conclusion of last night's play. The conditions should be absolutely perfect this afternoon.
31. $32.
Murphy can see all too clearly that the path is pretty clear to a successful clearance for McGill. Well,
Anthony
Just
McGill, 32.
just a standard straight pink to middle. How did he miss it?
Well, it's an absolute sitter, isn't it? Like you say, he's doing nothing with the cue ball. Just a reminder that this is not an easy game that we play.
1.
And we love watching the best players. But I'm very surprised he missed that pink.
And it's the frames you lose that you should have won that really hurt.
5.
Yes, and it can often be that you're doing something with
7.
the cue ball, a little bit an unnatural shot with a bit of side, but nothing. It was just a pot with the red there next to it. It was an amazing miss.
10. 14.
Murphy was in first with 65. McGill replied with 32 and looked for all the world
From
as if he was going to clear up to take the frame. And he missed the box standard ball to middle pocket, and Murphy just needed only to pot one more ball to clinch his 1-0 lead.
Thank you. Second frame. Sean Murphy to break.
1-0 to Murphy then, after it had looked for all the world as if it was going to be 1-0 to McGill.
Yes, a frame of just 4 visits, that first one. The break-off shot which went wrong. Murphy 65, the 32 from McGill straight after, and then Murphy mopping up the rest. No safety exchange, nothing. It's well played. Very nice pace on that. That's even better. no obvious escape route back down the table, and he can't play what they call the dump shot. He can't leave the cue ball on the bottom cushion because of the red that's there. He's having a look at a possibility of that. Doesn't seem a natural. So if he's looking to get back to baulk, that's going to be an awkward shot. There are the odd occasion when you cannot see a shot. Mercifully, as a player, that doesn't happen all the time. But they do say if you can't play a safety shot, you may as well go for a pot if one's available, and there is one available. He's done very well there, actually. He's done extremely well. That was probably the only way he could get the cue ball at this end of the table. It was a good spot. Problem with the containing safety shot, it keeps the ball safe for one visit, but you usually find yourself in more trouble the next time you arrive at the table. Once again, very well played. Murphy said in the interview that I did with him that he felt that McGill was a better safety player and tactical player than he was.
Well, not so far in this match. And I doubt whether there's much in it in that department anyway. Can still get to the centre of the cue ball for the red he wants to hit.
Well, I don't think he feels that Sean Murphy will be attempting the plant of the two reds. They're wide apart and they're not in line with the pocket. Kind of shot that might look easier than you think seeing that camera angle, but trust me, that's a difficult plant to attempt. Bottom red goes, but he couldn't get, I think, out onto a colour without playing at great pace. Good little exchange in the safety, this one. more trouble for McGill. He's been in plenty of bother on about 4 occasions this frame already.
Whereas if the cue ball had dropped in, he would have had a thin cut to left middle from next to the green.
Certainly the red up the other side of the brown complicates matters again for McGill. Getting back to baulk would be very risky, possibly leaving that red available. Lovely atmosphere in here this afternoon. Quite an absorbing safety battle. Everyone seems to be engrossed into it, enjoying the match. And of course tonight, well, it could hardly get any better than O'Sullivan Trump.
Meanwhile, this safety duel has been going 9 minutes. I think crowds like to see a mixture. They like to see big breaks, but they like to see tactical duels as well. McGill does not want that in, because it would have offered choice of easy starters from the D.
Yes, he's shown some very good defensive play. What I mean by that, not even regulation safety shots, just finding an area on the table. And there aren't many where Shaun Murphy can't pot one.
Coming up to 10 minutes for this safety duel.
Not sure what the record is at the start of a frame before a ball's been potted. I'm sure it's longer than this. Oh, what about that? I'm not sure he played him behind there, you know. But it's very effective all the same.
I think he may have been trying to cover that red, but not quite so tight behind the green. The nearest red, that is.
I think I agree with you, Clive, because there appears to be very little in it tactically between these pair. I think Murphy's much better than he was in that department. And right now, this has been a battle of two really good safety and tactical leading players, just to pot the first ball even in this frame. If you could get the cue ball where his left hand was there, just looking across in behind those two reds in that right corner, somewhere in nestling into those two, that's probably what he'd like to do, but the path is not easy to find to make that even possible. Yes, he couldn't go that way. This needs to move. It's quite a serious error, and advantage Murphy.
He was in big trouble.
Now he's got to figure a way of getting onto a colour. Just off straight on this red, and the cue ball naturally would head down, as you can see, down the table. Oh, there was a route onto the black.
What?
Yes, at first it didn't look as if he could avoid the second red.
Eight. Nine. Fourteen. Fifteen. Nineteen. Twenty.
He already looked at the red to the left of the black. He would love to pot it and get onto the black
25.
into the same pocket as the red. It would open everything up. That's what he's going to try. Wow. Didn't expect that.
Sean Murphy, 25.
Maybe he took it for granted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest of shots. Just, I suppose he's thinking about holding the cue ball. Didn't want it to go up the table too far, but he looks a little surprised that he missed it by quite a way. Seems to have got away with it.
Double played as a shot to nothing.
Yeah, the problem with that, Clive, as we know, is that if you hit the far jaw on a double, the red comes back towards the cue ball and it's not a shot to nothing any longer. It's quite a thin cut, but I think he's interested in it.
One.
You never know where the ball's going to finish in that situation. He's chipped the left red into the path of the black if he'd have wanted to play it. So it's not potable now.
Green ball. Sean Murphy, 1.
Well, it wasn't Murphy's best directed safety. He did leave a pot on, but McGill was really nowhere near it, and has left an easy starter for Murphy.
One.
Strong left of centre striking there.
6.
Yes, he's looking at a plant actually. Wow, his right jaw, I think.
7.
Played it nicely, and it was good cue ball as well up for the black. That was, I think, the real incentive in the shot. Oh, again, that's hit it too well.
14.
Screws back to the point where he's got a very awkward next shot.
Well, he obviously wanted to be on the red to the left of the black. It's not too bad.
No, this has got a bit of extra pressure on it though. He looks in half decent form. You know, we're hearing that he's not been practicing much because of his discomfort from his neck and back injury.
21.
But he doesn't look like he's playing too badly, as was the case against Karen Wilson the other night. A couple of centuries in that match.
22. $27. 28.
It's black and one more red is all he needs. He could be very encouraged by the start that he's made.
$35. 36.
This frame is comfortably in the bag.
43.
No sign that Murphy's
44.
back and neck problems are affecting him in any way. Although I must say I'm surprised that more players don't have similar problems, because it's quite an unnatural position they adopt in their working lives.
51.
They're leaning
52.
forward but looking upwards, so it throws a huge strain on the top disc and the back of the neck. Certainly scuppered Mark Selby's chances in the World Championship
Sean Murphy 52.
2 years
And a
ago. Meanwhile, that 52 break has clinched the frame, and Murphy leads by 2 frames to 0. Sean Murphy leads Anthony McGill by 2 frames to 0. Under the watchful eye of Robert Zablocki.
Thank you, the third frame. Thank you. Third frame, Anthony McGill to break.
Again, not the greatest to break off shots. Cue ball not tight to the ball cushion, and therefore scope for Murphy to attempt this red to left corner and get round behind the back of the black. Very nice fluke for him.
Yes, and he can't really complain that he's not on the yellow because the red's in the way. Not that he was. It was an outrageous fluke. Wow.
Sean Murphy won.
Surely he's not left the red as a thin cut, has he? That would be quite a serious error. I think the table's catching him out a bit. It's quick and responsive. He's not available to pot, I don't think.
Let's put the blue safe.
Which is not in either player's interest particularly. Not at this early stage of a frame. If you're 50 in front or something, then by all means.
I mentioned the blue going safe because it's one fewer ball for break building purposes if a player does get in, but at the moment pink and black are both tied up as well. Not that I expect that to last very long.
One. Three. Four.
No blue to screw back for, only bought colours.
Brown ball.
I think the blue is actually in the way of the natural one cushion into the bunch. Where it was exactly where the blue is placed. The natural angle to go into them. That's why he's broken down. What he is doing though, he's playing some good safety. He's keeping the game very tight. And since McGill missed a pretty straightforward pink to left middle in the opening frame, not anything really to go at. "28 minutes without a pot and nothing even remotely close to a chance."
Well, that's brought the black into the open. The red is on to left corner. So not the greatest safety from McGill. Murphy has missed it and has left a red to middle. McGill's first pot for half an hour.
Three.
You'd like to shift that red that's below the blacks. I think it's just making it awkward when the blacks are spotted otherwise. Yes. Wow. I'm pretty sure he played the cannon and missed it.
$11.
Yes, he must have thought the cannon was just about automatic.
I don't know
It
whether
wasn't.
No, sorry, I'm not sure whether he played it to cannon directly or to cannon it from the cushion, but he missed both ways. And like you say, had to be a basic shot, really. And one that would have made it a great chance. Just shifting the red away. Now he's got to play a recovery shot. We'll be very frustrated that that's ended there, that break. As you say, missed
Anthony McGill,
a
11.
good chance, having sat out half an hour without getting anything. Got nowhere near this.
Well, didn't cost him anything. So a couple of balls remain unpotted rather, when you would have expected them to go down.
Foul.
Just made
So
it.
94.
I think the table's quick, more so than it has been all week. As I said, the cloth was changed. I felt this might stop in the jaws. Kept running and running like it was going downhill. A real test of this one. We know that Anthony McGill has been slightly bogged down. This is a real queuing shot, which would get him started if it goes in. Yes, that doesn't surprise me. No rhythm, not in his game yet, not in this session. The distance he missed it by, Clive, would be a worry.
Yes, it wasn't a very good safety from Murphy, which gave him that chance. And this red goes past the yellow.
Although blue is no longer safe. It's a very adventurous shot. He didn't have to play it, but now that he has, I think that's a really good attacking shot. He should be reading the signs here, Murphy. He's got McGill under pressure. And if he was to win this frame, he could be moving right away from him in this match. Ooh. Oh, that's the miss of the week.
Sean Murphy won.
Well, just hit the blue too thick. Maybe thinking a little bit too much about how he was going to cannon the bunch. But a very basic error.
One.
Well, that's a great shot. Finish on the pink. Still can't quite get over that shot that Murphy missed, though. Having knocked it into play.
Seven. 8. Fourteen.
Well, he's played on the black. I thought it looked
15.
quite tight, but it must be available. There's not a great deal of room there, but it will go, as you can see.
Murphy's
22.
miss on that extremely simple blue has the makings of a turning point, and that's what McGill is trying to turn it into.
23. Twenty-eight. $29.
Want to be top side of the blue, which makes everything so easy at this game. And of course, finishing where he has. He wants to pot the blue and come all around the table. That's tough. Any pot on a bulk colour is even more difficult than that.
$34.
No. And that's all because of the previous positional shot that he's finished nowhere. I have to say that it's where Ronnie O'Sullivan that's been very good all season, because he's got perfectly on the blue. on break building chances like that. That's why he remains the man to beat. His cue ball control is exemplary. Look at the mess he's got himself in here. All because of that one shot that went wrong.
Anthony McGill 34, Sean Murphy 4.
Yes, he put a bit of left-hand side and it swerved it away. Murphy asking him to play from where it is rather than where it was. Played that well. He's actually got Murphy in a spot of bother here. Can't get a thin edge back to bolt this time.
Well, that wasn't a thin edge. Chance for McGill to clinch the frame.
Yes, he can't afford to let Murphy back to the table after that. That was another chance, and he must take this one. He really has to. Get a frame under his belt and he'll feel a lot better. And he's perfectly on the black.
Eight. Nine.
He needs another red after this black. At the moment, the difference is 43 points. So mathematically, Murphy could tie the frame, but
16.
I'd be very surprised if he ever gets back to the table.
17.
No prizes for identifying where this frame turned. Murphy had a simple blue
23.
over the left middle. Is it too thick? Perhaps
24.
thinking that he had to make as thick a contact as he could in order to get the necessary screw on the cue ball. But it was a mistake which has led
31.
to losing the frame. He's never got back into it.
$33. $36. 40. 45.
So with that nice clinching break of 45, Anthony McGill wins the third frame, but still trails by 2 frames to 1.
Thank you. Fourth frame. Sean Murphy to break.
Best of 11 quarter-final. Winner to play Mark Williams tomorrow evening in the semi-finals. And a poor break-off shot from Murphy.
Yes, it's the same shot, but from the other side of the table. And he also hasn't covered the red with the bolt colour.
Swap. Six.
That's a good shot. Choice of reds. Able to just run through, and the black is available, and when respotted, looks to be available to both corner pockets as well. It's on its spot now, in fact.
$14.
Pretty basic shot
Anthony McGill, 14.
for a player of McGill's calibre.
Well, he's missed two into that pocket. Pink in the first frame, and Murphy missed a very easy blue into that one as well in the previous. Yes, it was basic. I assumed it was on its way in.
That was a much tougher shot. Maybe he attempted it in the belief that it was the only red that he could leave, and he has left it.
One. Brown ball.
Well, he could afford to take the risk with the red over the middle pocket, albeit he would have been snookered on it. But
5.
options are plenty there. I know Alan McManus said he wanted to see him play
6.
with a bit of rhythm and quite swiftly around the table. He's not been able to do that yet, but this is an opportunity to just speed up his game and get himself into flow. I think he's a better player when he's moving purposefully around the table rather than looking at too many shots and too many options.
That last shot has improved the position for break building purposes of no fewer than 4 reds.
14.
Yes, it's a wonderful chance, but we have been called out already in this match with players kind of very surprisingly missing something easy. He would certainly be looking to keep
21.
Murphy in his chair for the remainder of this frame.
22. $29. $30. $37. $38.
Well, nearly stayed up that one. Running off the wrong part of the pocket. Anyway, it's gone now. As we've seen from that stat, balls have been missed. Safety has been very good between them, the pair of these. I wonder if Murphy's missed a trick slightly, because at 2-0 he had a chance for 3-0. Moving away into the distance.
46.
Well, if it is 2-all at the interval, as it looks like becoming, no doubt McGill will be the happier of the two,
51.
having recovered from the loss of the first 2 frames.
$52. $59. $60.
So the only remaining point of interest is whether McGill can convert this break into
67.
a century. He's only made 12 this season,
68.
which is not many for a player of his standard.
$73. $74.
Well, he's certainly got a chance to make another one here. Playing left-handed now.
$80. $81. $86.
The break ends on 86.
On the frame.
And Anthony McGill goes to the interval level at 2-all.
That's important, of course. See it full ball. He missed the reds twice, he would have been warned.
If McGill does come back and win this match, it wouldn't be the first time he'd overcome a slow start to beat Murphy. When he beat Murphy in the first round of the World Championship a couple of years ago, he was 6-4 down, won 10-8. And in the semi-final of the Indian Open in 2016, again he was 2-0 down, was McGill, won 4-2. Clearing up with 64 to win the final frame on the black from 61-0 down. So Murphy's well aware, well, A, that he's in pain, and B, that McGill is a fighter. I was chatting with Sean in the press room before the match, and he was telling me he's seen a physiotherapist here in Llandudno this week. He had some treatment actually today.
Yeah, he was looking at the start of this last frame. There is a kind of smoke machine in the arena that seems to still be belching out the smoke. Is it really turned off? It'll just be a little off-putting. Difficult to tell in the screens there, but out there in the arena there's, I just you see it in the air.
Yes, now the smoke is stopped. One of them wants to build a head of steam.
Prince a couple of shots ago played a thin safety off the seat. Probably choose the same thing again. He's looking, if he plays it half ball-ish, what sort of damage is he going to do as far as pushing a red to left corner? Pace of the cue ball will tell all when he hits this. Yeah, half ball, speculative plant. This is trouble. Can't play the dump safety here, Anthony. Playing the red second to left on the table there. Anything but thick. Wouldn't actually mind missing this first time. Oh, brilliant shot. Oh, that's a beauty. Shot of the match so far.
Wasn't it just the absolutely perfect contact and indeed the perfect weight?
The other satisfying thing about shots like that is something that Anthony will practice a lot of. Cue ball a couple inches from the baulk cushion, catching them wafer thin. Nice when it pays off. Oh, what an effort this is. Yeah, the red on its own just right at the pink spot, thin off that, side cushion, in behind the yellow. It has to catch this super thin. He's just worried about bringing the blue into play, so playing the more certain safety shot. Another toughie. Has to be thin. Yeah, very good again.
Some really good safety being played by both players in this frame.
Yeah, 2 cushions just drop on the red left hand side. Just drop dead weight. Don't slip round the back of it. Yeah, that'll be going back.
Miss. Antonio McGill 4.
Only thing about that, and you know, I'm not blaming him for putting him back, but I don't think for a second Sean's going to leave one. The shot that he had there, he could have slipped off a red, and it wasn't that difficult to get in behind yellow, which would have given Sean a bigger problem. In the same shot again, so just adjust a tad. 2 cushions and just nestle on the red full ball.
You see that so often when they need to make a minor adjustment. They always do. The player has to put them back, of course, but more out of hope than expectation.
Yeah, but as I was saying, that the last time Ants had the white just to the right of where it is now, that red just above and to the right of it, he could have slipped off it and would have fancied getting in behind the yellow. Because this is a kind of narrow shape of the way the reds are going up and down the table, this will be thin in behind green. Yeah, he's got it just a wee bit thick, and that's taking the pace out of it. Chance now for Ants, figure of 8 in behind yellow.
This frame almost 12 minutes played, a ball yet to be potted. And no immediate prospect of the deadlock ending anytime soon.
Yeah, eyeballed the yellow. You see the left hand side on it. And this is good. This is good.
The cue ball there was one revolution away from being dynamite. Just shows the fine margins at which they play.
Boy, oh boy. What a red he's picked out there. Not dissimilar to the shot Mark Williams played it. 4-3 in front last night. This is just as difficult.
Yeah, I'm
Sean
not
Murphy
surprised
won.
the black went astray for 2 reasons. As Alan said, the tariff was very high anyway, but when you've got a bad neck and you're queuing down, that's when the pain is most intense. Or the discomfort most intense.
It's kind of the way Sean Murphy plays, though.
What?
You know, pots an amazing long red and he's faced with an equally difficult black, but he just sort of accepts that, right, I'm going to have a go at this regardless of the consequences of missing it. When he's on, he's really on, Sean Murphy, but it's a high risk strategy that he plays at times.
Eight. Nine.
No, clever, clever boy. What a shot. Deliberately through
15.
the gap. A little nestle cannon.
This
This is where the new cloth helps. Look at the little soft screw. It's the cue ball. Just grab. And a dead cannon.
$23. $24.
First really came to the notice of the wider snooker public. And he made a sensational Crucible debut. Reaching the quarterfinals, ousting Mark Selby en route. And it's shots like the one he's just played that when he's in the groove make him so formidable. He can put together a whole series of frames where he dominates. He's claimed some good scalps this season already. At the English Open, he beat Neil Robertson in the quarterfinals. In the Ladbrokes World Grand Prix at Preston last month, he beat Stuart Bingham in the last 16. Murphy would be another notable scalp as well. And the way things are going, you have to think it's a high possibility.
Yeah, here's that red, Shaun Murphy. Followed by the black that we were talking about.
39.
Here it is. Such a tough shot in these tables.
$46.
And Alan, you know him better than most. He seems to me the kind of player, every player loves confidence, but he thrives on it. Needs it.
Yeah, it's the one commodity that you can't really work on. You sort of get it just from winning matches out there. Beating John Higgins, although it wasn't the performance he was looking at, albeit he won 6-0, but there's nothing like a win against a top player to give you confidence.
53.
And he started, well, iffy at best today. He's now picking up a head of steam. Blessed with a top temperament as well as Ants. Certainly need it out there because it's not going to be all plain sailing. And already he's arrived at frame ball.
$61.
So there's an unusual frame for you. Took 12 minutes to pot the first ball. The frame's probably going to be over in around 20 minutes.
$68.
Any young players out there want to learn how to play the game? Let's watch Ants' stance on this blue. The poker straight right leg, the left leg a bit forward but just bent. The perfect base to deliver the cue. One of the best techniques in the game.
74. 75.
Just gives him that base and the freedom to deliver the cue.
$82. 83.
Oh, that's a pity.
90.
No century, but the primary concern for Anthony McGill was winning the frame and moving in front, and that's precisely what he's done. Sean Murphy was 2-0 ahead. Now, though, he trails. Unlike that ball, the snooker this afternoon hasn't been glittering, but it's certainly been very solid from Anthony McGill in the last 3 frames. Breaks of 34, 45, 86, and most recently 80. And so for the first time, Sean Murphy is playing catch-up as he breaks off in frame number 6. Big frame this for Murphy. Needs to re-grip.
Yeah, just watching Sean there. Feeling uncomfortable. He said as the match went on, his last match against Kyron, he was feeling increasingly uncomfortable. Thing is as well, he's not been able to put in the volume of practice time. He's not been able to play for 2 or 3 hours to find out whether or not it's going to get tougher as it goes on. So he's kind of learning on the job out there, as well as dealing with the pain.
You're right, the problem is more inhibiting preparation than actual play. It's a real shame, especially at this crux part of the season when there's not just this tournament coming up, the China Open, which is a £1 million total prize fund, and then of course the World Championship at the Crucible. Not a good time to get injured.
Holland missed. Sean Murphy 4.
Yeah, no problem. He's checking what he's leaving to left middle. He's playing the dump shot. No double kiss on. Same shot, the other side of the table.
Just in this impasse, mentioning the World Championship there, Alan, the way Anthony McGill is situated in the rankings, if he were to win this match, I think seeding for the Crucible would be under lock and key. He's looking good anyway.
he's actually, in my opinion, and it's very Mark Selby-like in his approach to the tactical side of the game. He won't play a shot under duress. He'll consider everything before he makes his decision. It's something that young players should take note of. You don't have to go out there and play the first shot you see. When you're under pressure, take your time. Sometimes percentage snooker will pay off in the end. So this is 3 dump shots in a row that Ants is playing. Oh, this is not good at all. Schoolboy error for a player of Anthony's standing. Sean, first look for quite some time. What can he make of this chance?
1.
Look at the action he got on the cue ball.
8.
I think it stopped and whizzed back about 3 separate times in that shot. Unbelievable cue power.
Nine. $16. $17.
This is as gilt-edged a chance as you could ever wish for at this level.
23. $24.
I think he's missed a little trick there, Sean. I think low of straight would have been better. Push those 2 reds into play. They are a plant, mind you. That might keep. You'd fancy him potting it. Should he have to play for it?
30.
The reason I say about those 2 reds, he's going to need at least one of them to win the frame at this visit, should he get that far.
$31.
Can he push them into play off this?
He gets through the ball with such authority, doesn't he? The cue action is just a sight to behold.
37.
Pink on the green spot because the cue ball is on the pink spot. But with the use of a lot of running side, he's
38.
now nicely placed on the blue.
I think it'd be
43.
advisable to be messing with the black here. I think it'd be back up top side of the blue.
$44.
Still got to play one more good shot here.
49.
Probably forced into playing for black now. Just has to be careful with this.
50.
He's only just on it.
$57.
A really timely break, this. McGill's double kiss
58.
proving costly, as they so often do.
$65. $66.
The break goes to 73, so Mark Williams will be delighted. The most that Murphy can make is 140, so Williams is 141, won't be challenged as the highest break of the tournament so far.
$81. $82.
Yeah, here's the little safety shot Phil's talking about. Quite a big margin of error. Yeah, so disappointed with that. A player of his standings, I was saying, that was basic.
89.
Yeah, we're all going to be level again.
90.
And it's just simmering along nicely, this match now, isn't it? Last 3 frames, 86, 90. Shaun Murphy now 97 and counting.
97. $98.
Ladbrokes are donating £100 per century to the Jessie May Children's Hospice at Home charity. And so there's another oneer in the pot. Well done, Shaun Murphy.
105. Foul.
Murphy's 33rd century in professional competition this season, and given its context, one of his most important. It is 3 frames each, everything to play for. McGill and Murphy, 3 frames each in this race to 6, best of 11 frames. It's the final quarter-final in this, the Ladbrokes Players' Championship of 2018. And one has to say, great tournament, simply tremendous venue. Venue Cymru, one of the best on the entire circuit. The crowds have turned out in numbers. Lovely place, high-quality snooker. The week has been a treat.
Yeah, Shaun makes his way back in. We're down to best of 5 now to find out who's going to be our
Thank you, frame 7.
final
Anthony McGill to
semi-finalist. Now that the table's settled in, with 6 frames on it, the break-off shots seems to be more conventional now. Players obviously getting used to it.
There's a large disparity in how many times these two have been to ranking event semi-finals. Anthony McGill is looking for his 5th. Murphy trying to reach his 37th. The ginger hair, the measured approach, all very reminiscent of a certain Steve Davis in the early 80s.
pull the trigger here, Ants. Only Reddy can leave it, the one he's playing in all probability, so probably worth having a go. Type of shot he practices. Yeah, and he's left it.
And Murphy's arm, of course, already warmed up by that century in the previous frame.
One.
I don't want to put the mockers on him here, Sean, but is there a player in the game that's as good as this shot at opening up the reds? Yeah, he didn't go full bore. He was just a wee bit low for comfort.
8.
May play the double.
Sean Murphy 8.
Can't split these two in so many ways. Pot success rate, both 89%. That, though, from Murphy could be a misjudgment he comes to regret.
One.
Can't do an awful lot with this, just drop it in, leave a mid-distance choice of reds. Not bad though, he's got a nice little gap for this one in the left. Playing a kind of natural stun shot. You can get the cue ball back up for hopefully pink or blue. Oh, he struck that well. Yeah,
7.
very, very good. Looking at that, I'm not sure if the pink spot's covered. A couple of shots time here. Obviously black out of commission. He'd like the pink spot to be covered.
12.
Yeah, there it is, it's in the free, so that's why he's not really tracking it right now, working off the blue. Decided to play for it. Okay, fair enough. I suppose you've got to utilise whatever's there, but clearly it's going to be tied up now. But Ants, oh dearie dear.
Anthony McGill 13.
There's a word, inexplicable. The pink he missed in the first frame, the pink there, he's going so well, and then he doesn't just miss them, he misses them by a distance. Hard to fathom because technically you couldn't see anything that was incorrect there.
Yes, and this time it will be full bore into the reds by Sean. This might actually
6.
not be too bad. It's quite a straightforward red in middle. It doesn't have to do an awful lot with the cue ball to get on the pink. The pink won't be a sitter, but just push that red, the middle one of the three, Just slipped past it. That'll do nicely. So, will Lance McGill be made to pay for that miss on the basic pink, the simplest of pinks off the, well, not off the spot, but a basic shot for a player of his calibre.
That kind of missed pot, they call it on the circuit, the mystery shot. You can't work out
30.
why it crops up. But it's happened 2 or 3 times today for McGill. In fairness, it's happened to Murphy as well. Just a matter of how expensive it will turn out to be.
$14.
Yeah, here it was. Just a straightforward pink, and even he's mystified going back to his chair.
$16.
Oh, I know Sean Murphy's good with the rest. This is, in terms of tariff of difficulty, this is up there. Oh, what a shot. What a shot that is.
17.
Certain really good players over the years have despised the rest. Matthew
22.
Stevens, totally class act. Former world champion John Spencer. That great entertainer from Malta, Tony Drago.
23.
Sean Murphy is the polar opposite of that. With rest in hand, he is right at the top of the tree.
Yeah, I think for guys like Sean, difficult to get inside his mind, but I think he looks forward to those little shots with the rest. Treats it like a challenge. Well, he passed that one with flying colours, and now he's in position to go back into the lead in this
29.
match. He led 2-0, remember. 3-2 behind.
30.
He's played this game from a very early age. Maybe that's why he's good with the rest, because when he was a youngster, he was using it so often.
36.
Turned pro, let's not forget, when he was 15. Had special dispensation to do
37.
so.
He's making quite hard
43.
work of this. He didn't want to be playing this red. It's awkward bridging as well. He's going to give this pot all his attention. Yeah, it was missable. It was missable.
Sean Murphy, 43.
Repeat, he did not want to be playing that red. So lifeline for Ants. What can he make of it? Here it is again. Just shaves the near jaw.
Well, it's
What?
not an ideal table, but I've seen an awful lot worse.
Purely a symptom of queuing over the red and the ball towards the balk end.
7.
He just couldn't get comfortable on the shot. See him here. Can't quite see his body there, but that red that he was bridging over, the simple cause of that there, losing the cue ball.
Anthony McGill 7.
Yeah, here it was. I see him bridging over it. His cue was right over the top of it, so he couldn't deliver properly. Sean being in front by 31. Not taking the red off the cushion. You can bet Ants will if he gets the chance. You see, the problem with the red, he can play the red in the right side cushion, but he knows there's a chance of leaving Shaun Murphy that long red, and he expects that Shaun will knock it in. That's why he doesn't want to play the red. He's going to play playing the cue ball behind yellow and brown, but if he doesn't cover it, he thinks Shaun's going to pot the red. Watch the cue ball. I think he shifted it deliberately. That is a great shot. Well played. See, he's always thinking. You play to your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Shaun Murphy, of course, strength is that ramrod straight long potting of his. He's deadly. But Ants is now back in this frame. The red's in the open. Shaun can't lift the other tight one.
A little bit of arithmetic going on there.
Yeah, two things he's worried about here. Well, one main thing, he doesn't want to lift the black. But he had no option, but he had to. So this is a half chance, well, a half chance at best for Anthony. But it'll be all guns blazing. Just try and pot the red. Natural kiss on black or pink. Let's see, half chance at best, but a chance that he shouldn't have.
Had a pot like this early on in the match to the opposite top pocket, and he undercut that one. Let's see if he can cut this one in.
One. Five. Six.
Don't adjust your sets. That was left-handed. So many players these days have these ambidextrous skills. It is such an advantage, Alan.
Yeah, he enjoys doing it as well, Lance. He enjoys playing those little shots now. Is he just going to push through the pink here? I can't see any way that he'll play a pot. Can't get close to the red. So it's a question of what shot do I leave Shaun? Because he wants Shaun to release the red when he tries to play it. The chances are he'll play to drop on it dead weight. I think if I was Ants here, I'd just push through the pink and block off the left side cushion, force Shaun to go right side cushion. It stands to reason
Green ball.
he'd be having to shove the red towards the left corner, but he's chosen a different route. The only thing with this is Shaun can go side cushion and drop on the red.
Anthony McGill 6.
It's the only criticism I would have with that shot. You wouldn't expect, as I say, Anthony to have a chance of potting this red when Shaun hits it. Doesn't matter about
Foul
that.
miss.
Points wise, it's pretty irrelevant. Just be adjustment again.
The referee is Robert Zablocki from Poland, originally putting the cue ball back way off where it was originally. Mutual agreement though now. Adjustment made, as was contact.
Yeah, this is going to. I don't know why Ants is laughing. This is a wee bit awkward. He's going to get every bit of long tackle there is under the table here to play this. But the good thing about it from his point of view, I would expect the red to be in at least a few inches off the cushion after playing this. And if he gets just the greens half of the table on the return, he's going to have Sean in even more trouble. The red's not going to travel very far, but it will go a few inches, couple inches off the cushion. No, he's unfortunate. He's left the gap. Truth be told, he actually caught the red just a fraction thick, didn't he?
Arguably the most crucial exchange of the match so far, this.
Oh, this is free ball. There's the cue ball.
Anthony McGill 4.
Yeah.
Free ball.
Chance now to win the frame. He'll definitely want to get rid of the yellow if he can here.
Run ball.
The reason I say that, when he eventually gets on red then colour, it's not going to be an absolute cinch to get on the yellow where it is now. Oh, dance, you can't miss that.
Well, Murphy remained in his chair here, couldn't quite believe the brown was still on the table. Pleasantly surprised, mind you.
Go two cushions here, Anthony. It's the best chance of getting separation. Yeah, looking at it now, brown may help him. He's just trying to shove the red onto the black cushion, but this isn't easy. Yeah, it's gone wrong. Needs a fluke, and he's got it. Yeah, as I say, that definitely not the right way to go there. A massive slice of good fortune. Yeah, playing the brown, I suppose he. It's almost a bonus shot, this, isn't it? He shouldn't even have this chance. Oh, what a shot that is. What a shot.
Five.
Yeah, snooker isn't a physical game,
7.
but this will hurt Sean Murphy.
Murphy now only 7 points ahead, which means McGill needs brown, blue and pink.
14. $19.
Every credit for a good clearance, but what a lucky way for that clearance to begin. Not just a fluke, escaping a snooker. McGill 4-3. At the moment, needs to
Thank you, frame 8.
dig deep,
Sean Murphy to break.
utilise all of that experience to try and forget what happened in the previous frame. But that's much easier said than done. In those kind of circumstances, Alan, it's human nature, isn't it, to feel aggrieved. He played a snooker, and that's the last shot he had in the frame. What a fluke from McGill.
Yeah, not easy to put out your mind, but Sean Murphy's blessed with a top temperament.
One.
They've been battling away now for a couple of hours. The last frame, in fact, was the lengthiest of the contest. It's been relatively free-flowing. Lengthiest frame, 23 minutes. Shortest, 9.
Sean Murphy 1. Foul and miss. Sean Murphy 4. Free ball.
Foul miss, free ball, and a self-imposed snooker. The green is on to middle.
Green ball.
one thing you do know about Sean Murphy, he'll put his foot on the brake pedal. He'll keep pressing on.
Three.
Yeah, the brown is actually in his mind here, Sean Murphy. He knows that it's, yeah, the glance at it again there, he knows it's a big target to get in behind, so he's just trying to drop this cue ball. Even on the side cushion would be good. That's a clever shot.
Sean Murphy 3.
Just try and punch this red into the pack and just bring a couple into play up behind yellow. He couldn't quite get the reds into play. See, he'll keep pressing on, Sean Murphy. Here's one here. He's opening reds up playing this. This is risky. Oh, he'll be happy with this.
Yes, red over the pocket, blocked by the green.
This is no good. Oh, he's just about got it safe, I think. Sean cut this in. Borderline.
One of those shots where the cue will have to come out of the way very quickly.
Yeah, it's right on the edge, isn't it, of being able to get this thin enough. Right on the edge.
And so a misjudged shot from McGill has actually proved potentially profitable. Had he caught that red a hair thinner, it would have been an easy pot for Murphy. Now the Scot. One red potted, out of position.
Yeah, actually it wasn't all that easy because he had to manipulate the cue ball. It wasn't a natural to get round the back of it. Well, obviously, but he's just trying to play in between top and a stun. Difficult shot to time that with the rest. He may have to take a risk here. He may even be
Black
pushing
ball.
the black safe just as extra insurance. Just shove the black against the other reds. Yeah, that's what he's played because he feels like there's a chance he's leaving this red on.
Anthony McGill 1.
He's just about covered it.
1.
Just swerving to make the pot, and with the side he put on, that meant a no position.
Yeah, no, if he's not going to play a snooker here, the shot would be just side cushion and rest on the
Yellow
green.
ball.
He's playing in behind the pink in all probability. Yeah, played it about as well as he can, as well as he could have done, sorry. Still feeling it.
Well, jokingly last night in a radio interview, Mark Williams, who awaits the winner of this, was asked who he wanted to play next in the semi-finals. He said, well, he would like this match to go 6-5 on the black, and for Murphy to raise his level of discomfort as a result. He was joking, of course, but you get the feeling if Murphy does come through a really hard match here, he'll need a day off.
Foul.
And at the moment, the
Anthony
balls
McGill
are
four.
not exactly favouring the 2005 world champion.
Yeah, Sean, he's not the first player by any means to play out there with an injury. Well, most players actually, but some kind of little ailment in some shape or form. Remember Alex Higgins, wasn't it? Won the Irish Masters years ago, hopping round the table.
Yes, and when he won that, it was a remarkable achievement, but he was on the road to recovery. The worst tournament with that injury was the European Open at Deauville, where it was ridiculous. He beat Les Don in the first round, resembling a pogo stick.
He's definitely wincing as he's walking around out there, Sean Murphy. There's no doubt about it. He's just trying to keep that left shoulder as passive as he can in everything that he does. I have to give him immense credit, actually, sticking to the task. Once again there. Through all the trials and tribulations of being a top sportsman today. And could do with a bit of hampered bridging here, and he's got it.
Well, after what's happened in the last 15 minutes or so, you can't begrudge him that, and I'm sure McGill doesn't.
Except that he does.
Yeah, selective snooker players when it comes to thinking about the luck they've had or not had, as the case may be.
Rather you than me, Anthony. This is nasty. The first thing to say is what he's not going to get is a return to baulk. That's pretty obvious. He just hoping here that he gets the pace right in this and leaves Sean Murphy something awkward. Oh, that's a good shot. What a shot.
He placed his trust in the table there, and it did not deviate a millimetre. Brilliant. Applause to the table fitter. I was right down the line of that shot. Perfect it was.
It's maybe one of these rare occasions when he actually tried to leave him hampered again. He can't nestle in behind anything. He's trying to leave him on top of the brown. Not quite. He's actually got a shot to nothing here, Anthony. The red in the middle of the big bunch. Oh, has he caught to the jaw? He has. At least Sean Murphy won't be able to be comfortable in the shot from Ant's perspective. But he may have a path back up for blue, natural angle. It's just whether he can bridge down on this. Remember a shot Anthony had earlier in the match similar to this. Disconcerting. Bridging over. Oh, what a shot. What a shot that is.
One.
When you've got cue power like that, it's such a massive plus. But that is what they call no man's land.
He's getting irritated a little, which is not like Sean, but you can't blame him. You know, he's been made to work for everything here, which you would expect playing Anthony. The discomfort he's feeling doesn't make it any easier. Just wants to keep his composure here, Sean Murphy. Now, is this a shot to nothing?
Sean Murphy 5.
Three little triangular reds. I wonder if the top one will go to right corner. He's coming round to look at it now. Yeah, now he sees it. It'll just about go. There you see. So he'll play it.
Well, I think we can safely say this is going to be the lengthiest frame of the match. 11 reds left. Already 80 minutes of snooker played. Good return. Good return.
Trouble in these situations, there's no real hiding place for the cue ball. Like every shot's going to finish in the green half of the table. Nothing to nestle in behind. You just always feel you're going to leave your opponent the same shot you've just played. However, that red coming up adjacent to the blue, slightly different complexion and things.
Well, not the best kiss, really, because if he does take on the yellow, what a pressure ball. What a pressure ball it would be.
He's fantastic at slipping back into potting mode, Sean Murphy, isn't he? After those safety battles. A great asset to have.
3.
And now the yellow is the only colour on each spot.
Yeah, can he avoid the blue now? Yeah. Difficult to see how he could play the pink there and avoid the blue. So forced into playing the yellow. I think he's going to play and disturb the black here. Had a look at it. It's definitely worth it.
Six.
Just didn't quite get into the cue ball enough. I think he's taking the more difficult of the two reds here because he feels like he can finish just top side of where the yellow is. Yeah, didn't really get anywhere near it.
Sean Murphy 6.
It's just one of those frames, this, isn't it, where the position of the balls, the reds and the colours, is pretty evil. There's not a lot you can do about it. No pattern to this frame.
Yellow ball. Anthony McGill 1.
Yeah, looking at this red. Now, he can't screw back and get the black in the same pocket. But he's looking to just play a little screw and just push the black about 6 or 8 inches. Great effort, unfortunate. Played it well, actually. Just trying to push it towards that left middle. He cannoned it twice, I think, didn't he? Cue ball just chased top side of it.
If the red wasn't down there in bulk close to the pink, this would be a routine safety. Plenty of colours to hide behind. But that lone red is changing the equation.
Yeah, actually just noticed, of course, both players are using this
Matthew
new
1.
chalk that's on the market these days, and the reason you can tell that as well is the lack of chalk marks on the bed of the cloth.
Yes, Murphy absolutely swears by it. Hails from up north in Finland. I must say, we've not seen a great amount of kicks this week, have we, really?
No, it's been very good, I think. You can actually see just under the table there's a temperature reading. It's now, I think they set it at 45 degrees these days. As it used to be, there it is there. It used to be 50. They did change that about 18 months ago or so, and for some reason it's made the cushions play more consistent. Something they had to tinker with for a while, but I think they've got it just about right now. There is actually inside the cushions, they have a sort of temperature reading. I don't know how they do it. I'm not very technically gifted, I must admit, but yeah, that's where they get the reading from.
As stated earlier, the lengthiest frame of the match, over 25 minutes, and you can see an awful lot of snooker still to be played.
It's all happening. It's all happening out there. You got to take the rough with the smooth, the good with the bad out there. It's not easy, but yeah, push the cue ball to the side cushion here is not a bad shout. It's a clever shot. Leave a little tempter. Don't think for a second Ants will play it, but there's not a lot he can do with the red and the D. Yeah, feels like he can play this as something of a shot to nothing. Cue ball up in behind the brown. Good effort. Very good effort. Many a time that red near the left corner, you'd see Shaun Murphy bully it in, but I just don't think he's feeling up to those type of shots today. Can't give it the commitment that he normally does. A wee bit more circumspect in his shot selection.
Yes, and maybe cueing when the white is close to the ball cushion a little more painful than when his hand's on the table. That could be an influential factor.
And here is that red. Ants is going, he's going full bore. No, good pot. Yeah, say full bore. He didn't get too ambitious, did he, with the positional side of it, but credit to him for knocking it in. One of those low-scoring tactical frames where nothing seems to be happening, but they all count, the same as knocking in 100. Of course they do.
Again, trusting the playing surface, and that trust is validated.
Yeah, talking about Shaun refusing this type of red, you can bet that Ants will have noted that. That's probably part of his thinking why he's left Sean that red. He's thinking, well, he clearly doesn't fancy that type of shot, so here you go, pal, have a go at that one. Knock yourself out. We know what he's like, Sean. If he can't see a good safety and there is a pot on, he tends to have a go. Playing a half ball red. The trouble is, watch the red he's hitting. It may chase back up the table. Watch the red. Oh, he got it thin enough. That is a brilliant shot. Brilliant shot.
Murphy quite often the subject of criticism when it comes to his tactical play, but I think today we have to say well done so far. He's given as good as he's got.
Absolutely, Phil. First class has been the application as much as the execution. Now, considering how he's feeling, he's sticking to his task well out there. You don't win world championships and Triple Crown events without having something about you. And the mental side of the game, that is, of course, he's got all the ability, we know that. Fascinating little passage of play. Massive frame in the context of the end result of this match now. Red's in the open. Black in the open as well. Yeah, the red directly below and to the left of the black's the one he's playing, at least playing it. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Is he having a go at this? Dear, dear, this is a big shot.
Murphy walking a little quicker around the table after that one. But again, especially with balls to bridge over here and think about in the back of his mind. You see getting down brown and blue in his way. Even with the rest, and he's great with this. Another pressure ball.
One.
All those players who weren't so good with the rest during their careers, they must watch Murphy and think, if only.
8.
If only.
Yeah.
9.
Great asset to have. He's played a couple of brilliant shots with the rest this afternoon. Sean. 6 out of 7 so far with it, and they've not been easy either, is the point to make. Handy little lead, as I said earlier. It's been a low scoring frame, but Black puts him 30 in front.
$16.
Is he going to play up and down for the black again? No, I thought better of it. Playing for a choice. Green's there as a
17.
reserve. Playing for brown. I think this is all right, actually. I mean, we know he's good with the rest, so he maybe play for the red on the left side of the table.
Brown ball.
That's the ball he's looking at. I'd be playing for the one on the black cushion myself, but I say Sean's ultra confident with this rest.
21. 22.
The waistcoat was quite close to the green, but no infringement. Robert Zablotsky, the referee, was quite right there and on the mark. And so Murphy 43 ahead, 43 on in this low-scoring
29.
affair. This is frame ball.
30.
Well, he's had breaks of 65, 52, 105 and 43
37.
so far this afternoon, but I think this contribution will perhaps be the most satisfying.
Sean Murphy 37 and the frame.
51 behind, 35 left. Anthony McGill decides to concede, and so again they are inseparable, this time at 4-4.
Thank you. Frame 9. Anthony McGill to break. Take your seats, please.
A real battle going on here at Venue Cymru, and this the last quarter-final in the Ladbrokes Players' Championship. It was 2-2, it was 3-3, now it's 4-4. Are we going to see our first deciding frame finish of the event?
See, Sean Murphy not afraid to gamble, opening up reds. You're always taking a risk, leaving this half chance long red. Can Ants get back into potting mode? Oh, clean as a whistle. Beautiful shot.
1.
That was pinged, wasn't it? Not just the pot, but positionally as well.
Oh, Ants, that's poor. Oh, Ants, that is not a good shot. Oh.
6.
Yeah, I'm saying that more in disappointment for him. He played it with a little bit of side to take the cue ball towards the red and just overcooked it. Such a waste after that stunning opening red.
Anthony McGill 6.
It's been one of those matches so far, Alan, where he's played lots of quality shots, but he's just been tripped up by a few lapses in concentration, it seems. 4 or 5 mistakes you'd never imagine he would make.
Yeah, he's still thinking about it out there. He's thinking about that chance. He should be in the balls right now. Again, like Sean, has a super temperament, so he'll be fine, but he'll be disappointed with that. Top jaw. Looks like he's just about all right. No damage done. Half ball in this, doesn't want to meddle with the two reds together. That's why he hit it half ball. Good shot.
I'll repeat what I said in the previous frame. I think Murphy will take an awful lot out of this match in terms of the accuracy of his safety. Well returned though. Now, at the moment, this is the opposite of the previous frame. If somebody could get in here, we could see a big break.
Clever. Blocking off the right hand side and getting good pace means that Shaun can't manipulate the cue ball with side for the return. Probably going to play the dump again. Red left of our screen is not a double kiss, so he can play that. So when he's playing, just didn't want to hit this too hard and send the red anywhere near the yellow pocket. Yeah, good shot. Is he having a go at one?
Well, if he's dropped on the yellow and Murphy can't pot either of them, wow. He has, you know.
Yeah, that's a blow to the solar plexus, isn't it, from Shaun Murphy? Yes, every credit, good shot. Generous tap on the table from Anthony. He knows he dodged one there.
He will have played plenty of matches in his career where he's had a bad run himself. But since the interval, definitely luck is favouring the Scot.
Yeah, I think this is re-rack.
Yeah, I think by mutual consent it's a re-rack, and so it's going to be frame 9, take 2. Hard match snooker this, uncompromising. So Neil, what do you make of it?
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, we had that long frame, which obviously it's quite important that Shaun won it. You know, you get those grueling 35-minute frames, how you come out of those, and you know, then we had a re-rack, so it's getting very tense now. And one thing I will say about Shaun, he did say before the match that he didn't know if he could compete in the tactical and safety with McGill, because he thinks McGill is such a good tactical player. But I think he's done very well, actually, and at the moment his neck's holding out. I wouldn't like to pick a winner. I just think that maybe Shaun is a little bit more adventurous than the man he's shot. You know, Anthony's been a little bit bogged down more so. I just think as long as his back and his neck hold out, just right now Shaun looks slightly the stronger and he's more likely to take a risk. So just favouring Shaun, but it's very, very tight game, this one.
Thank you, frame 9. Anthony McGill to break.
Well, I must be honest, I think Neil's assessment there is spot on. Anthony McGill has got a great chance of winning this match, but for me, still a marginal favourite is Murphy.
Yeah, there's the kind of shot that Folds is talking about.
1.
Goes full bore, full blooded at those types of reds, Shaun Murphy, and backs himself to knock them in generally. Now, pack as tight as a drum. Must get a good angle.
5.
And the next colour should he pot this red. This will take good cueing to get top side of the blue. And he played on bulk colour, clever. Yellow or blue.
6.
So, one of the best in the game at this type of shot. Keep your eye on the reds though. Oh.
No, there's definitely none there, Sean. I can tell you it's the other way around.
Yeah, that was funny. Good on him for seeing the funny side of that. I did say
Sean Murphy,
watch
11.
the Reds when he was playing the blue. I mean, you could never in a million years he could have predicted this. Surrounded by Reds. Yeah, good return again. Some fantastic safety shots all day today by both players.
Yes, and I think whoever wins will gain immense satisfaction from this.
Yeah, it was funny with Sean there looking to see if there's anything dirty in his shoes. I can tell you one player in the game you know whose shoes are sparklers are Sean Murphy. Always immaculate. There you go. Polished them this morning.
Foul and miss. Sean Murphy 4.
Well, 4 points on the ledger. Cue ball back.
Sorry, I couldn't catch.
Yeah, Anthony just saying that he couldn't hit the red on the left side cushion. Not going to make any difference. He's going to play the same shot regardless, but professional as he is, he wants the cue ball back pretty much where it was before. Everything back in order.
With that cluster of 5 reds very close to the top cushion, you get the feeling this could be quite a lengthy affair as well. In every tournament, you always get one match which is a real festival of determination and grit. This is it.
Sean looking at this red in the middle pocket. If it's straightish, he'll maybe take it on, and get the cue ball somewhere around the middle bag that he's trying to pot the red. Oh, what a shot. Oh, Mike, my apologies. I thought he'd potted it. He hit it so well. He couldn't have hit it better and not potted it. But he got the cue ball top side. Look at this. Oh, those middle pockets are sharp. Looks like Anthony can see the red though. Enough to pot it. Watch the cue ball round the back of the black as well. No, it wasn't quite on.
1.
Yeah, nothing he could do about that. Just had to play the natural angle. So back to the hard work.
By the way, if you think these are lengthy frames, they are nothing when it comes to record-breaking lengthy frames. We're just coming up to the 1-year anniversary of
Green
the
ball.
longest frame in snooker history. Dave Gilbert, Fergal O'Brien, final qualifying round of the World Championship. It went 9-9. The decider lasted 2 hours. 2
Anthony
hours.
McGill 1.
And commentating on that was a certain Neil Foulds. He's just finished therapy.
Sean's having a go here. Red by the pink spot. Again, watch the cue ball. Oh, sorry, my apologies again. He played the safety and he's done some damage, but look where the black's gone. Everything hard work today. Yeah, good pot, good strike. He'd love to get nice on the blue. Just the wrong side of straight.
1.
If he's going to score a few here, he's got to get the blue in the spot. Might actually be worth playing here. Deep on the yellow and try and lift the pink. I don't think he'll play it, mind you. But he'd be probably odds on to leave himself on a red if he played it. It's easy saying that sitting here. Huh?
3.
No risk sitting playing it in the com box, but I say he's got to get a high value colour into play as soon as he can. Trying to get top side this time,
4.
and he's just about there. Brilliant shot. So his decision to bide his time looks like it may pay off here.
Nine. Okay. Ten.
Sure, he didn't play for the blue to the yellow pocket, but it will be gladly accepted.
15. Sixteen.
This is where concentration levels must be at their maximum. Just one high value colour to play on.
21.
Hard push to win the frame at this visit, but can certainly put himself in the box seat with a good lead. Clever shot that, actually, making sure he's top side of the blue somewhere. I was going to leave some kind of shot.
Well, horrible queuing on the red. He would like to pot. That's ensured by the position of the pink.
Yeah, but in a funny sort of way, it might pay off if he pots this red with the rest. He's playing it, so it might pay off. Concentration here now, Anthony. Big shot this. Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Anthony McGill, 26.
So I got the feeling that he didn't fancy it for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. He's excellent with the rest normally. You see it.
Yeah.
Even finishing low in the blue would have been perfectly acceptable there. Just, you can't ever make sure of the pot because it's a tough shot, but if he knocks that in, he's probably a warm favourite to go 5-4. Chance for the mini counter-attack again. Not a good table, but the makings of a tight finish again this frame.
One.
Now, I just wonder if Sean will play the cannon on the pink here. Let's see if he's looking at it. Yeah, he's eyeballing it. He's going to play this. There's the eyes on the pink.
Rumble.
Brilliant shot.
The one constant in break building is trying to increase your options, and that's what Murphy did there to great effect.
Six.
And the other thing with the pink, if and when he gets it back on its own spot, it gives him options to attack the three difficult reds.
By the way, just to confirm what we've been saying about Sean Murphy's abilities with the rest, he's took on 10 pots with the rest so far in the match and knocked in 9 of them.
13.
Yeah, he may just hold the pink spot here playing this. Little red to follow. Pink would be on the black spot. Yeah, tried to lift one. Yeah, he's all right. He's got a little angle in this red.
19.
This is what the absolute marquee players of this game do when they get a chance, even towards the end of a match. They try to press on, win the frame in one visit, be aggressive. It's not easy to do it. Will he try it again here? An off straight red, pot the red and try and lift the black and the other red that is on the right side of the table. This shot here will tell us. He'll just probably draw back about an inch or two. Yeah, he's playing it. Big shot now coming up. Doesn't want to find the gap. He's aware that 14 in front. He needs this red on the right side cush, so I think he'll play it. Green helps him too, so it's probably worth it. Yeah, deciding against it.
27.
Yeah, it was a judgment call actually. There's nothing certain about playing it, so. No, that's a let off.
Sean Murphy, 27.
A let off and a shock. And now for Anthony McGill, the snooker gods have served up a red that's not dissimilar to the one he missed to this pocket a while ago. Into the heart this time.
1.
Yeah, and he looks to have a nice angle, decent angle here to just promote this red somehow. Looking at the scoreboard, it'll tell him that he's a long way from home. He's going to need up to including the final pink if he's going to win the frame at this visit. But first things first, try and promote this red. Yeah, perfectly played. He almost played to lose the cue ball through the gap. Well, there wasn't really a gap. He was always going to contact one. But so big shot
8.
coming up. Yellow to green. How does he go about it? This shot will tell us. Yeah, he's playing it with the rest. Again here, he's almost trying to go round the back of the green.
13.
Players mentally play this and forget about the green. Try and slip round the back of it. That's what he'll be playing. Yeah, he just got it too high in the cue ball, didn't he? So, scores are level.
15. Anthony McGill, 15.
From here, both players need green to pink.
Trouble with this green here, if it's straight, you can't play the green up and down. It's a guaranteed double kiss. Or it's as, well, it's virtually guaranteed. The way I'm seeing this. Will the green get past it? No, it's a double kiss, but he's gotten away with it. It's almost impossible to avoid because he couldn't manipulate the cue ball.
Foul and miss. Sean Murphy, 4. Back. Okay, again. Okay.
Well, one byproduct of that is that Murphy now needs to pot one fewer ball. Just green to blue will do for him.
two choices. He can't hold the cue ball for the brown. Does he play down this end and back up, or does he play this with a trace of left hand side and try and kiss the brown? It's up and down, but he missed it thick. Once again, he's just about gotten away with it. Green is on, but far from easy. See, actually, I think he was definitely playing up and down the table there, Sean. I thought, try and pot the green, cannon the brown. Gone now, mind you, but big moments in this match now.
Not close, was it? Not close.
Yeah, this is a chance, but I tell you what, this is not a sitter, far from it. Oh, what a shot. Where's the cue ball, though? No good.
3.
One other key point here is that Anthony McGill still does not require the black. He's 7 behind. Is he on this? On this brown? Oh, yes, I didn't think he could get through.
Well, after the green, he deserved to get through,
7.
so just the blue. And this simple pink. And Murphy is back in the ascendancy.
18 and a frame from Murphy.
In front for the first time since he led 2-1. Could that be a mammoth blow? We'll find out. It's 5-4. Well, well, well. What a tussle this has been.
Thank you, frame 10. Sean Murphy to break. Thank you.
The 10th frame of a possible 11. Murphy will be looking to consolidate on the previous frame. Get in and make a clean kill. But the way this has gone this afternoon and the way McGill has battled, you just get that overwhelming feeling this is far from finished.
Bolt straight long red. Yeah, he hit it good. Chance for Anthony. One red at the back of the pack. He's just checking that it's on, which it is. But I would imagine that he'll be tracking a good half ball angle and a bulk colour off this red. Yeah, not ideal. Every credit, great shot. Just low of straight in this
6.
red now. This will take some cueing if he's going to top this through. Yeah, back for blue. Still on the yellow
7.
and possibly the blue.
Match time 3 hours That's total playing time, doesn't include the minutes between each frame or indeed the interval. So getting closer to 4 hours actually they've been engaged in this.
Nine. Ten. Round ball.
Yeah, he's playing for the red at the back of the pack to left middle. Good shot. Clever shot actually, because it was a natural. So
14.
toughish red, similar to one Mark Williams plotted last evening. Yeah, it wasn't a sitter. Tough shot.
Anthony McGill, 14.
But having missed it on the high side, he's given Sean Murphy a more than decent chance now, top side of the blue off this.
One.
Played for a half ball green. Surprise you, Phil, that he didn't stop for blue there? I thought the way he plays the blue.
4.
Very surprised at that.
Well, that shot's his stock in trade, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, playing for the green was
From
actually
Murphy,
it
4.
was probably harder, injecting a bit more pace into the initial red. It's gone now, obviously, but I fancied Sean strongly top side of the blue, attacking that bunch of reds. Funny how the scoreboard dictates a match. Anthony 5-4 behind here, feels he has to make something happen, so he's taking the red on. Yeah, biding his time again. Certainly looked like he was taking it on. As I say, sometimes the scoreboard does dictate your state of mind, your shot selection.
We saw a 4-ball plant last night from Mark Williams at a crucial stage of his match. McGill just looking to see whether that might be a 3-baller.
Sean just looking to see if this red will pass the black, because if he slips off the left edge of the bunch, he's liable to leave that red as a shot to nothing. So he may decide to just chip it onto the side rail. He's gone the other way behind green and brown. covering the pack the right side of them with the green, which he has done, has given Anthony a problem and a decision to make. Decision made. I think he's taking the red on. Oh, what a shot.
Absolutely tremendous at that pace. Never touched the sides.
Eight. Nine.
Bit straight for comfort in this. This will test his cueing. He's taking the pink on. It is exceptionally dangerous. Oh, what a shot. And lovely on the red as well. Deserves everything he gets from this.
15.
Yes, a really positive, aggressive choice.
I say, sometimes the scoreboard just frees up the mind. You're 5-4 behind, you feel your back's a wee bit to the wall. You think, right, okay,
16.
let's open the shoulders and start being a tad more aggressive. That's what you're seeing right now.
$21. 22.
Played this shot earlier, he played it nice, didn't he? Force and stun up into the bunch. Just wants to push 3 or 4 reds into play. Don't overhit it. That'll do nicely. Good shot.
29.
Critical moments coming up here. Anthony McGill on the verge of putting us into final frame decider for the first time this week.
30.
Yeah, he's frightened of screwing back and contacting that red near the cue ball. We have to settle for a red to left middle. Yeah. The thing is, he won't have good memories of that shot. He's missed a couple of them this match already. So a little tester here. At least he's got his hand on the bed. So he's got a wee bit
37.
more control in playing it. But big shot. Probably if he pots it, it's a decider coming up.
Stayed down. Delighted to see the red just about go in. We are going, it would appear, to the wire.
45. 46.
63 in front. 59 on, but not the best positional shot. Didn't want to drop his guard there. Well, this by far his biggest break since he made a 90 in frame 5. And this particular effort could not have been more timely, Alan.
Yeah, You just feel, as I say, I think you just
60.
got a wee bit more aggressive. And Folsey spoke about it a couple of frames ago, didn't he? Where Anthony was maybe being a
61.
wee bit passive. Certainly hasn't been this frame. That opening red was a stunner, wasn't it?
$68. 69. $74.
Even though the red's close to the pocket here, it has to be struck perfectly.
Yeah, here's this red again. Look at this. Dead weight. Never touched the sides, as Phil said.
80.
And that's laid the foundation for this 18 counting.
82.
Before the interval, I heard Clive Everton mention the fact that Anthony McGill had only made 12 centuries this season, which for me, very surprising.
85.
This, though, should be the 13th, and boy, what a time to produce it.
$89. 94.
Well-merited applause. It is a seaside special and a 6-5 special. But who will win? Find out after the break.
Thank you. The deciding frame. Anthony McGill to break.
It started out at 1 o'clock this afternoon as best of 11. It's boiled down to a single frame shootout. And these two have played a decider before. Third round, China Open in Beijing 3 years ago. For what it's worth, Murphy with a break of 72 in the decider won that match 5-4. Again, living dangerously.
Don't tell me it's going to be one of these deciders where the reds end up all over the table. I don't think either player would really want that. There's not going to be any heroics here. This is just roll off them, land dead weight in them, or just skim off them. could be another re-rack on the cards here. Maybe not now, mind you. Maybe Ants will deliberately leave that red in bulk. Yeah, he is doing. He's basically saying to Sean there, go on, you shove the red back down this end of the table and we'll get a conventional decider. See, both players don't want the red spread all over the table. Just depends how he feels the reds are going to split here. I'd love to play it in behind the brown, but he's playing the single red. Still a safety shot. Still in behind the brown, mind you. Good effort. And just loath to open the reds unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't blame him for that. Can't beat it, can you? Tea time, Friday night, quarter final, and a decider. Said earlier, Sean Murphy's not bothered about opening reds, he goes for it. Is he going to leave one? I think he is. I think there's a gap here for Anthony. No, there's not. You see it, that's the gamble that Sean took there. There's the setting. All a hush. Venue Cymru, this first decider of this year's Players' Championship. Can't blame Anthony for taking his time here. Been out there the best part of 4 hours. Don't want to give it all up and through a careless safety shot.
I was just thinking, this season McGill has lost 4 deciding frame finishes in ranking events. He's gone out of the World Open, the Northern Ireland Open, the UK Championship and the Welsh Open after losing by a single frame. Is that same fate going to befall the Scot again today? Murphy certainly has a great chance, if not to win the match at this visit, to build a very healthy lead.
It's funny, I'll bet you at this moment in time Sean Murphy is not even aware that he's got a sore neck or sore shoulder. Let's get on with the job. Just checking that not so much the red, just checking if the black will go if and when he pots this and plays for the red into the same pocket. Just going round to double check it.
13.
Yeah, this is better on the green because he can play for a choice of a couple of reds playing this. Just slip past the right edge of the blue there. Yeah. That's a bonus being on this one.
16.
Get on the black and build from there.
$17.
Get his demeanour around the table now, Shaun Murphy. He's in a decider here. They've been out there the best part of 4 hours. You wouldn't think he was playing a deciding frame here. That's what the top players do. The absolute marquee players of this sport.
24.
You've got that ability to play the last frame as if it's 1-all or nothing each. Just looks relaxed.
And drawing on the experience
25.
of being involved in not just tight matches but tight finals. He won a deciding frame to capture a world ranking title. 2008 UK Championship against Marco Fu. When
32.
you can cope with that kind of pressure, I suppose you're armour plated.
$33. $38. $39.
Yeah, won't be playing for the red on the cushion. He's playing for the red. Back of the bunch there. Yeah, confidently played, wasn't it? Just high of straight, so.
And no
46.
hint of tension in the Q arm either. The pause, the trademark pause of Shaun Murphy still very much there. Authoritative.
47.
It was actually clever because in playing for this next red, he's almost guaranteed a decent angle on the black that follows it. That is, of course, unless he's straight in this red, which he may well be.
54.
So not guaranteed the optimum angle. But he's played that to perfection.
55.
Key shot coming up.
Well, the red, he's on, actually rocked back into a little
62.
hole on the slide there. Close to his work, so using the
63.
looped bridge, which is more prevalent in pool than snooker, far more prevalent. And still not quite over the line yet.
Yeah, what do you do here? Do you play position? Or do you play a safe-ish cue ball somewhere? Full-blooded, safe-ish cue ball. Got a long raking pink. Should see Shaun Murphy home.
69.
He would love to see the back of one more red, though.
Shaun
Just
Murphy,
a smidgen of
69.
hope to Anthony McGill. 69 behind, 67 on, 1 snooker needed. Now, though, that is that. And the best tonic for any ailment, for any illness, for any injury, is victory. Murphy might have been in pain this afternoon, but now he's feeling pretty good.
8. Nine.
For the 5th time this season, Shaun Murphy will progress to the semi-finals of a world ranking event. And for the 37th time
16.
in total. But boy, has he been pressed by Anthony McGill,
17.
who should be applauded for his contribution today.
$24. 25.
We have got in the semi-finals 4 world-class players, and we've got 3 world champions.
31. 32. 32.
It took a while, it took 3.5 hours in fact, but in the end, after an almighty struggle, Shaun Murphy prevails by 6 frames to 5. Here in Llandudno, Murphy's Law just about holds.
It was an arm wrestle, if you like, in the end, but you must be really pleased to have got over the line there.
Yeah, it was a real tussle, and it's probably one for the purists. You know, there was quite a lot of good tactical play in the match. Sure, there was a few misses and stuff, but I think that happens in pretty much every game. And the problem as a player out there is you get a feel the crowd are getting a bit, you know, you see all these other matches, big breaks flying in all the time, you know. There was a few murmurs in the crowd, or, you know, tonight will be much quicker. Tonight will be much better. And you sat there and I'm thinking, like, you know, we're trying our best. Like,
I'm a purist. I loved it.
Yeah. I honestly didn't think you could hear us from here, but no. I'm joking. No, I think the beauty of it was the patience you showed, and that Anthony showed as well. You know, it is that's the game of snooker, isn't it? It's not always about building breaks and knocking balls in.
No.
It's about having the patience to tackle the opponent.
At the risk of sounding like a much older player, there's much more to snooker, and you know, it's taken me a long time to sort of get to grips with that. We'd much rather go out there, get a chance, and clear up, and be sat in here an hour and a half later having a chat. But I think when you get 2 players who are fighting like cat and dog for that first chance, and you're not willing to give your opponent anything, that's the way the game goes.
And I think also when you get a best of 11 frame match, you have that opportunity for the game to ebb and flow like that. It went 6-5, went all the full distance. The first time this week we've had that. Mark Williams, your opponent on Saturday night, did say, "Oh, I hope it goes the full distance," and you know, it puts the players through the mill, because you have struggled with your neck and your shoulder, but you looked reasonably comfortable. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's you know, every shot is take a deep breath and plough on through, and you know, I may look okay, but I can assure you I'm not. There was a lot of painful shots out there. The very first frame, you know, I had frame ball on a really nice break, queuing over the pink, and it's that kind of funny angle. And I missed it, and, you know, that could have cost me.
You just didn't stun through high enough, didn't you, and you left it there.
I think the one thing about that is I thought when it got to the decider, because you should have practiced, right? I think you've admitted that you haven't practiced as much as all that. In the decider, which I think we're going to show some pictures of in a minute, but, you know, you seem to be queuing well enough, and normally when things get tight and you haven't been playing, that's when it shows.
Yeah, I mean, you don't forget. You're just a bit out of stroke. I mean, you know, if you imagine a golfer playing and then not hitting a ball for 3 weeks and going to play in a big event and expecting to shoot under par, you know, it's very, very difficult, but it's...
put this in because I couldn't see how you could get out there. And
no,
I knew that you would play the ping in a certain way. You know, if you were 50, 60 behind, you would have played on the red. But you had to slightly compromise on this, didn't you?
Yeah, you had to play over there in case, you know, work too hard to throw the whole match away for 63 points. You know, you have to play. It's an old school shot. I wouldn't have played that a few years ago. Leave the white over there just in case. But it's an old school shot.
Well, it was the right shot.
And that was the right shot.
You know, the point you made there a few minutes ago about sometimes you feel people are getting a bit restless. A player recently, who will remain nameless, actually said to me at the end of winning a match, I was worried about the audience getting restless. I was worried about you guys in the commentary box, what you were thinking. I said to him, never worry about that.
No.
This is your career. Some people have come along to watch snooker, and they're probably enjoying it anyway, and the commentators get paid anyway. I won't say it was, but as I say, he was really worried about. I said, listen, you've got to forget all that, because that's irrelevant, and that's just all in a day's work for everyone else.
I think also in this game now, the modern game and these top players, Sean's talking about we'd love to knock balls in and score all day. That's the easy part, actually, isn't it, of this game? You wouldn't think it, but it is. It's the digging in's the difficult part, isn't it?
I mean, this week here, we've got the 16 sort of best players on the one-year list. Yep. And, you're fighting for that first chance, because if you get the chance, you can score. We can all do that.
Easy part.
You're right, that's the easy part. It's fighting for your opportunity. There's a lot of frames there today. The first ball wasn't potted. It was 10 minutes old.
What about something else we're going to show you, which you potted a blue, and it looked like you was in an impossible position. You played a brilliant shot, and the red surrounded the cue ball. I thought maybe you didn't even have a shot here. Look at this. I mean, you've got to be unlucky there, haven't you?
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit unlucky. I thought that was a little bit unlucky, but I had little bits of good. And it's the ebb and flow of matches like that. You have to take that on the chin and
there
just
was
go well.
Good tactics, though.
I must have stood on a ferry this morning.
I wanted to pick out a shot in frame 5 because you'd missed this once, but I thought this summed up how well you played. You said before the game that you thought he was a better tactical and safety player. I don't think you'll see a better safety shot played all week than that. I know that you missed it the first time, but I wanted to pick it out because I thought you did compete very well. There was no evidence that he's better in that department than you today.
Well, I can assure you I've lost plenty of games to Anthony that prove it to me.
Yeah.
I have been improving in that area. It definitely isn't my strength, but it was OK today. The blue was a good guide in that particular shot. If I just missed the blue, I hit the red, and you're frightened of hitting it too thick and going in off. And it was a little good guide. But you've got to compete now in that area, I think, because everyone's become so good at potting and break building. The cloth's brand new, it's a new set of balls, it's absolutely perfect conditions. That tactical safety part has now become the game. That's now the most important part.
How do you feel Anthony's game is now? I know he's a top 16 player. You tell us how you think his game is.
I wish at his stage of my career, I wish I'd have had his game, because I think he's got the full package. He's the absolute full all-round good pro.
You had been world champion though at his age.
Yeah, I know, but I think as far as an all-round game and what he's capable of, he's ahead of where I was.
I tell you what, he doesn't do as well as you. Pot balls with the rest, not many do. We've got the one rest shot I wanted to show. This was, to me, a screamer. Alan loved it in commentary.
Yeah, I was drilling over that. I thought you'll maybe hold for pink at best and zipped it back. That was an awesome shot.
I'm not a holder. I like to strike them and not give them a chance to sort of go where they want. But
missed one all day, 10 from 11 all day with the rest. So that's not you're not inconvenienced on that.
Practice room for me.
When you look at the match stats overall, obviously fantastic. Your rest success rate, but very similar. You can see how evenly matched this match was. Look at the long pot success, not much between the total points overall, the time at the table, but your pot success. Look at that, 89% for both players. There was nothing could split you two, and I think just sometimes it is that experience and that ability in one of these long matches just to hold your nerve in that last frame.
I think these best of 11s are a completely different challenge, because you can be 4-0 down at the interval and still win. You can do it. It doesn't happen often, but you can do it. And you've got to be able to weather the storm. You do sit there, and I think there was one of the frames where I had him snookered on the last red. He came off the cushion, he got it all wrong and fluked the red and cleared up.
That's right.
And you've got to weather those things, because they do happen. On another day, I would have spiralled out and lost the match because of that. I'd have been so wound up.
How much did you tailor your game today to how it's feeling?
Well, my whole setup when I'm down on the shot is tailored. I'm normally...
But shot selection as well?
Not necessarily shot selection. I'm having to physically get down more sort of looking on a side-on view, because I can't get nice and square in behind the shot. It just hurts too much.
You've got Mark Williams up next, Saturday night. He's in the form of his life. He says he played better in his youth, but certainly anybody watching him now can say he's certainly playing as well as he's ever played.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I watched the game last night. It was absolutely phenomenal. He's just been playing so well for a long time now. Puts a lot of it down to Steve Feeney, puts a lot of it down to working with Sight Right, as have I put a bit of, resurgence in my long game down to him. So, it's the two sort of, big guys who love the sort of technology going against each other, and, yeah, I I hope I'm sat here tomorrow night.
Will you watch tonight's match, Ronnie and Judd?
I'm sure. I mean, listen, you know, I'm 35 and I've been a pro a long time, but I still love the game. And we've got two of the best players of all time going head-to-head tonight. I mean, it'll be an absolute festival of great snooker, and you're absolutely right, I'll be watching it.
We hope so. We might be sitting here saying it's one for the purists. Who knows?
Say it's unlikely.
Listen, well done today, Sean.
Yeah,
I really
well
hope you're feeling in top form tomorrow. Get some rest, and we look forward to seeing you in your semi.
Missed 2 tournaments recently, and you played against Kyron on the first night. You've got problems with your neck and your back. How's it looking?
Yeah, it's still not good. You know, I've been having treatment on it very, very regularly since pulling out of those 2 events, as you mentioned. I've had treatment on it every day since playing Kyron. And, you know, it is marginally better. It would be wrong to say that I'm pain-free, because I'm not. And I've more treatment on it, you know, going forward. So I've got to really reassess how I look after myself in terms of flexibility. It's highlighted a number of issues, and it's something I've got to get much better at, you know, going forward.
You're the kind of player that wouldn't miss tournaments unless there was a good reason. You looked in discomfort, but you did make 2 centuries in that match, so you can still play.
Do you know, I couldn't believe it. I've not hit a ball in 2.5 weeks since losing to Gerard Green in the Welsh Open. I went home, I watched all the snooker from Gibraltar. I was devastated not to be able to go and defend that tournament. You know, I put a real mark on that type of thing, and to not go was a real sickener. And I couldn't even stay at home and practice. It wasn't like I had loads of time off and could hit lots of balls. I came here, I had a couple of 20-minute sessions downstairs to warm up before the game. I went out and played quite well. I couldn't believe it. I had 100 in the first frame, first chance. And it's just a case of, sometimes you think, you know, I work so hard sometimes and maybe it's not worth it. But yeah, I guess it's all in the memory bank. But I'd definitely feel better if I'd played a little bit more.
Yeah, low expectations sometimes can bring better results. Now, you're into the quarterfinals. You're playing Anthony McGill. You've played each other a few times. You've beaten each other in the World Championships before, so you've had some big matches. Yeah,
and I don't know what the stats are, but I think he's got the edge on me in the head-to-heads. I feel like he's beaten me more times than I've beaten him. And I think he's an absolute fabulous snooker player, all-round very, very strong player. And when he gets break building in and around the balls, he's very dangerous. His safety play is first class, much better than mine. And you know, I've got my work cut out to not only try and get in the balls more often than he does, but when I do, I have to make those chances count, because I think if I end up in a tactical battle with Anthony, I think I'll lose.
Of course, his 6-0 win over John Higgins must have raised a few eyebrows in the Murphy household.
Well, it was just, I think it was on everyone, sort of, no one saw that coming. Not 6-0. I don't remember John losing to 0 ever. I think you could count those to love victories on one hand, but you know, I think they probably know each other's game very, very well. They probably practice with each other. People north of the border might not be surprised by that result, but it does show one thing. It shows Anthony is in absolutely fine form, and nothing but my best will come close.
Well, thanks for your time.